Today on Suncoast View, a winning week for Nathan Benderson Park at the World Rowing Championships. What's next for the popular park? We'll discuss.
It's October, and that means tricks and treats await even for our four-legged friends. Today, we'll look at pet Halloween costumes.
And outdoor living is one of the best parts of being on the Suncoast. We'll look at new home renovation options for our outdoor space. All that and more right now on Suncoast View.
Welcome to the show, and welcome back to Will Luera from Florida Studio Theater. Great to have you with us.
Thank you very much. It's always great to be here. Thank you.
We all expect to smile when you're here.
Oh, thank you.
And I understand that a new improv season is about to start. I didn't know you ever slowed down. So tell us what a new season is like.
Yeah, we're the only show at FST that runs all 52 weeks.
Wow.
But our new season does kick off at the beginning of October. We have a show called Out of Bounds, which is when we have two teams competing against each other. It's one of our classic shows that I'm bringing back to kick off the season.
Great.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
We'll look forward to that.
Shake it up a little.
Yeah, exactly.
Saturday nights at
Saturday nights at
Theater?
7:30. Yes.
All
correct.
right.
Thank you.
Always something going on a Saturday night, so that's nice that we can always head to Florida Studio Theater. Always a great restaurant to check out on the Suncoast as well. And we have a new face in the kitchen today. We welcome Chef Alex from Carmel Kitchen. Great to see you.
Great to be here.
What are we making today?
Today we're going to make our menu favorite paella. It's got shrimp, mussels, chorizo, and chicken in it.
All right, we got all our bases covered.
Yeah, I can't wait to teach you guys how to make it.
All right, sounds good, and that sounds like it may require a lot of teaching. There's a lot of different parts with that.
Just a little.
Chef Alex isn't aware that our usual theory with all this is
can't do anything wrong.
We just go to see him and let him make it. So we'll see how we can learn today. It is time for our first hot topic, and the Suncoast is getting high praise from the world rowing community. Officials are praising the World Championships at Nathan Benderson Park as one of the best rowing regattas ever. 42,000 spectators attended, and already the World Masters Championship for rowers, which means 27 and older, is scheduled for next September, and that's a much bigger event. It draws more than 4,700 athletes. The U.S. national team is also expressing plans to practice for the Olympics at Nathan Benderson. So as a taxpayer, would you be satisfied if the park primarily exists for rowing events?
No, I want to see a lot of things there. I love the rowing. I think that's very classy and very exciting, but I'd like to see a lot of other events there too.
I'm not opposed to just the rowing. I think the whole key is that it cost a lot of money, and a lot went into it as far as taxpayers having to do our portion. I feel as long as it brings that money back and generates the money for the community, I don't care what they use it for.
I absolutely agree. I mean, when I was there, I actually got to go for a day to go see the championships. And I was thinking, when I was watching, I'm like, it'd be great to see sailing. It'd be great to see like the ski. I've seen like ski-doo racing, right? And like a whole other bunch of sporting events. I'm a huge Olympics fan, so to be able to see Olympic level sports in our town was awesome. And I think bring more.
And there's plenty of time for rowing. There are 52 weeks a year, so we're talking about 3 or 4 weeks here so far, so there's plenty of time to bring all these other things in.
And a version of a triathlon is actually coming in next week, so I know they're doing a very quick turnaround on the park to get that done. But I think, too, when the park is not being used for the events, the fact that it's such a great place to walk, to bike, you always see people out there. I'm hoping we can use the finishing tower for events, because it's a very impressive structure, the way it overlooks the whole area. You know, I think there's a lot that can be done.
And you can see it from 75, so it really will attract tourists.
It definitely was one of those moments when I was there with all of these flags, all of these people from around the world. Made me really proud to live here, to be able to host this event. It was really nice.
This was a little fishing village, and look at us now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was surprised the traffic was not as bad.
It was well managed.
I was
very well
actually
managed.
really impressed. I thought leading up to it, it was just so much talk, and I was like, all these people coming in, it was going to be a nightmare, and it really wasn't.
It was never a problem. I went that way several times, and it never slowed you down.
And I think some people had said that a lot of that was because the athletes themselves weren't part of the traffic issues. They were being bussed in and out from team hotels, and you know, it was very orderly.
Yeah, it really was.
Very orderly.
They did a great job.
A well-run event. We look forward to having more. Florida's charter schools are under attack, often by the public schools they share a district with. So charter schools are one option in the growing school choice movement. But public schools are often not pleased because they have to share funds. A House bill passed last year requires districts to share a cut of their tax dollars with charter schools. Now, some districts in the state are suing the Department of Education so they don't have to share their money. Charter schools are privately managed but publicly funded, and managing those schools is out of the district's control. Did you know that? They share the money but don't get the control, and that is ruffling some feathers.
They get a little bit of control because the charter schools have to be approved by the district itself. Like you have to apply, do the application process, come up with a curriculum. But I know day-to-day operations they don't control. But I don't agree with this. Public schools are already struggling to keep their funding, and a lot of the charter schools end up being a little bit more well-off. And the parents help to contribute, because I know my many of them, like my brother went to a charter school, the parents had to pay a certain amount or volunteer to make up that amount of money that they were supposed to donate to the school. So the school has other options for funding.
Right.
So, and public schools don't have that.
I would think that they have to pass the same tests when they graduate. They have to be at the same level.
Well, they do. They have to do that. The problem is how they get to that test. Public schools are very rigid, where they have a set curriculum that the state says you have to do.
Amount of dollars per student, too.
A charter school has a little bit more leverage of how they're going to teach that same lesson, where a teacher has to follow this exact curriculum in public. A charter school teacher may be, hey, well, I think the best way to do this is take them into the field. Let's look and dig and do whatever, a little bit more hands-on, where a public won't have that. But that's not the issue. The issue, I think, is just funding. Public schools tend to not have money.
Yeah.
So why are we taking
things.
it from them and
Right.
giving it to a school that also has other options?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no easy answer when it comes to school funding, other than I know Florida is at the bottom of the barrel. So that if we're going to continue to fight over how to fund a charter school when we've already got public schools that, as Bobette said, are struggling.
Right.
So I don't know. It's disappointing to see the infighting, though. I don't think that's going to solve any problems.
We need to have one focus on this.
Yeah, absolutely. So most of us realize at this point that things are not always as they appear in photographs, especially fashion ads. But France is on a crusade to change that. A new law is now in effect that mandates that any retouched photo must be labeled as such. French officials said the law is meant to reduce the number of unrealistic images of bodies that children and young people are exposed to. More than 600,000 young people in France are said to suffer from eating disorders. Do you think this will help?
No, they're more overweight kids than ever before. So looking at those models does not make them thin. So they're not getting thin for that reason. I think we need more education about eating, more people in their own families who are watching what they're eating and making the healthy things taste good.
I think we know they're retouched, but that doesn't mean that we don't want to look like that.
No.
You know, there's a disconnect there for me. Okay, I get it, but I still want to be that.
Like, I agree with you. I do agree with you, but I do think that there's some unrealistic expectations being set up for young women, for young men. Also, just like looking at other people, these images are telling you who you should find attractive, who you should be friends with, and it's really setting up some unfortunate like shaming and body shaming at a young age. So I think labeling it, and hopefully eventually we don't have to do that anymore. I mean, that's my dream, that we don't have to touch up. I think all body shapes are beautiful, and it might take a generation or two for everyone to really grasp that. But
What comes next? Are they going to take away makeup next?
I hope not. But I agree with you, Will. I think we all think or assume something is touched up, but there's always that debate in your head. I wonder if that was real, or if she really looks like that. I feel like if you have it there won't be that expectation to say, you know what, this is what beauty is, and you have a wider understanding of everybody can
reality.
accepting.
Yeah. I mean, it really is just accepting reality, I guess, if you know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice to not have to wonder and just know. I could agree with that. Yeah, that's France on the right step. We'll go with that. So it's the beginning of the week, and we always have great plans of productivity. A new study says we should only work 3 hours today to maximize that. Works for me. A new UK study says that's all the average worker actually devotes to real work in an 8-hour day. According to the study, nearly 50% of the time we are checking social media, reading news websites, or discussing out-of-work activities with colleagues.
I don't know where these people work.
We don't have that option.
I
go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. I barely can have lunch.
Yeah, I've got coffee, and it'll be the same amount of coffee at the end of the day because I never have time to drink even.
I think in a traditional office environment, which we do not work in, and Will, you do not either, but I think there's a little more, you know, oh, well, let's just check on this and then go back to checking this and then go over and do that.
But the people that really work there would probably say, no, that's not. We work really, really hard.
Like I remember when I was younger and I worked in a traditional office setting, like I remember before there was social media, there was the smoking break or the coffee walk or whatever.
Right.
And so I definitely understand what this study is saying, but I also think that that work culture in general is changing. I mean, the 9-to-5 work model almost seems outdated. I mean, I find myself working at all hours of the day
Absolutely.
now.
Your email follows you home. So what if I take a break to go get coffee because I'm still answering emails in bed at 10 o'clock at night?
Yep.
You know, so
My wife doesn't like that, but yep, that's what I'm doing.
I hear you, but 3 hours is a little bit.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
Yeah, you're not getting much done if you're only working 3 hours, that's for sure. So we know how much smartphones have changed our lives for both the better and the worse. Well, a theme park enthusiast has a comparison that is very, very telling. So this theme park guy revisited a Chinese park 7 years ago after a first visit. So you see in 2010, everybody's kind of staring at the ride, waiting in line, just seeing what's happening. Look, 7 years later, absolutely everybody has a phone pointed at it, taking a picture, taking a video, and also disengaged, just kind of looking at life through a lens.
That's very sad.
That is a little sad.
You're missing your life.
And you see it all the time now. Everybody is looking at their life through their phone.
Yeah.
You do.
I feel like a lot of times people are living life for the likes. You know what I mean? Like they're like, what's the picture I could get that could get the most likes? And I've tried to discipline myself and my children as well. It's like make the memory up here first. Whatever we're doing, let's make the memory up here first. And then maybe we'll take a picture of it. But I think, you know, this memory is as important as the one that you're going to put up on Instagram.
We had a baby shower this weekend, and I was thinking, okay, are all these people going to be sitting around looking at their phones and not talking? Not true. Everybody was talking to each other.
Absolutely.
We didn't pull out the phones
You
at
didn't see
once.
anybody on the phone, so I was very proud of us.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Because that's what we want. You know what I mean?
want
Like it was
interaction.
so nice to just sit and talk to people, and I think maybe we just forget how to do that. Because too often you do grab your phone because you're worried about social media, because you are checking news headlines. Or
But sometimes it's so that you look busy so you don't have to engage with all of these other
it is
people.
very useful for that.
Pretending I'm doing something.
It is very, very useful for that. So occasionally we misspell something on the screen. We're always embarrassed about it because that's just carelessness, right? Well, we do kind of appreciate others making mistakes too. It makes us feel a little better. Look at this one. A road sign near Disney is supposed to say Epcot. Look closely. It says Epoch. A man spotted the error earlier in the week and took a picture on social media. We were told the sign is still up. Spell check, proofread, get a second set of eyes, all those things your mom used to tell you. And then, while learning about Epoch, I was reminded, did you know that EPCOT stands for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow?
I did not know
didn't
that.
know
I have lived here for years and never knew
I know
that.
that.
So, but
no
it
wonder
is
they use the abbreviation.
exactly. But to have that hung, think about all the people that probably, you know, the guy that filed to have it made, the guy that made it, the guy that hung it,
The thousands that have driven under it.
up there with a spelling error. So, all right, we're going to check in with our happy hour forecast, and when we come back, we're going to learn how to save a life with just our hands.
Hear you. No, I got.
CPR saves more than 92,000 lives a year, according to the American Heart Association. But nearly 90% of sudden cardiac arrest patients die before reaching the hospital because they don't get this life-saving measure. Sarasota County EMS Operations Captain Dana Anderson is here to show us how easy it is to learn the hands-only method.
That's right.
We're so glad to have you show us this because we're not real sure about this.
Okay.
So you don't have to breathe into anybody's mouth anymore.
So a lot of people are quite uncomfortable with putting their mouth on a stranger.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I can see why.
this is, this is something that they can do without having to be intimidated by that. It's pretty easy, and as Linda pointed out, it could definitely make a difference in saving lives.
So it could save somebody's life if you did this.
Absolutely.
Well,
Wow.
so why did not more people learn how to do it then?
Well, I think old CPR standards was kind of intimidating. There was a lot to know and a lot to learn. You know, you had the ratio between breaths and chest compressions, and then put that together with a very stressful situation,
Right.
Potentially a emotionally charged situation, and I think a lot of people are intimidated and uncomfortable with it.
about being in charge of a life.
Right. So this is a little bit easier, a little bit simpler way, and it's better than not doing anything at all by
That was my question. I know that, there's sometimes a small time in between a person passing out or having the heart attack and the ambulance getting there. So is the idea just to have something helping to
Correct.
flow that blood through the body until EMS
Yes,
gets?
absolutely. What you're doing is you're circulating the blood through the body while we're getting on scene. So just to give you an idea, it takes about 6 to 8 minutes from the time that 911 is called until we arrive on the scene, and every minute that goes by reduces the chance of survival by 10%. So as Linda pointed out, so 10 minutes is basically it.
Wow, that's amazing. So there is a Pulse Point app to help you with this. Tell me about the app.
It's a very exciting new app that we're going to be rolling out in Sarasota County. Essentially what it is you sign up for this app if you're CPR trained. If there's an event, a sudden cardiac arrest, it alerts you to your phone, and it also tells you where the nearest AED is, which is an automatic external defibrillator. And it even shows you pictures of where it is. So if something were to happen in this building, it would show me exactly where the AED was in the building, and I could go get it and start doing CPR and put the AED on the patient while we're waiting for EMS to arrive.
Technology is wonderful. That's
yes.
a great thing to have. But still, you've got to get down here and do it yourself. Can you show us how to do that?
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the lower part of the chest, and basically right about where the nipple line is, you're going to put the heel of your right hand right in the center of the chest. You're going to lock your fingers together, and the key is you want to be, this is on a table, it's a little bit more difficult, but you want your shoulders directly above the patient, and you're going to use your body weight to push down. And the key is you're going to go hard and fast. We want to be doing at least 100 a minute. That's pretty fast.
How do you know how many a minute?
Okay, so the song Staying Alive,
Yes.
you're going to do it to that tempo.
Okay.
So you think about that song Staying Alive.
Staying alive. Oh, oh, oh.
There you go.
Staying alive, staying alive. Oh, oh, oh.
So just remember, hard and fast, and we're going for at least 100 compressions a minute.
That sounds like a lot.
It is a lot.
But it will save this person's life?
Yes, potentially.
And I have a question. I would think the reason a lot of people don't jump in and do it is because they're afraid of doing it wrong and having it cause
hurting them.
more harm than good. Is that possible? Is there something I can be doing wrong, and how do I make sure that I'm not?
Sure, the key is, like I said, just make sure that you're in the right place. You want to be right in the lower half of the chest.
Okay.
So when you're going to be pushing on the sternum, which is obviously a bony part of the
We
chest.
don't want to be cracking ribs if we're too low.
Right. And the thing is
Here, Will, you
doing
try that
nothing is worse than doing something.
May I borrow your
Okay.
dummy?
Of course.
No, I think that's a really important thing for people to understand, that doing nothing is worse than something, because if you're paralyzed by the fear of hurting someone, it's better than not trying to help.
Correct. Yes.
Because I think it is intimidating for all of us.
Yeah.
But definitely a lot less intimidating for not having to breathe.
Pumping like that will help it get through the blood system, get through the
circulates
body.
the blood through the body, and not doing mouth to mouth isn't as big of a deal as they once thought it was. It's more important to keep the blood circulating through the body.
Wow.
It would be a wonderful thing to know that you saved a life
Absolutely.
like this.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're going to have, they're going to be teaching this hands-only CPR at our fire department open house, which is this weekend on the 7th.
Oh, that'll be great.
And it only takes about 15 minutes to get trained in the hands-only CPR, and then you can sign up for the Pulse Point app. And like I was saying before, it'll tell you where a sudden cardiac event is and where the nearest AED is. So
Oh, that is wonderful. So it's this Saturday, and you can go to heart.org to get more information, but it's October 7th, and you can save a life by knowing this, just by giving it 15 minutes.
great.
And when we come back, Dr. Jenny is going to tell us how not to be so stressed out and overwhelmed.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help. With Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
There's a lot going on in our lives with the responsibility of family, work, and friends. In fact, the pace of our days can be so intense, many of us just seem overwhelmed. Well, today we're going to ask Dr. Jenny Wilkins from Age Vital Pharmacy what we can do to combat the anxiety of stress and all the things that keep us up at night.
Very true.
That sounds like me. My staff is like, why are you sending emails at 3 o'clock in the morning? And then I had this question online at the ABC, my Suncoast View, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed all the time, and what do I do to combat that? And how do I stay, fit and healthy and not let it affect my metabolic physiology? So I'm guilty.
That's my first question. When you talk about stress, we all know it's bad, but what does it cause? How does the stress impact the health of our bodies?
Stress, number one, can increase cortisol, and cortisol makes you super anxious, and then it can also cause the adrenal fatigue, or super tired. I know the last couple of weeks after Irma, and then having 4 children and school starting, and there's so much, like, life can just get so hectic. I was wanting to fall asleep like at 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's like an overwhelming sense of like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Why am I so tired? I'm like, I'm so young, I shouldn't be this tired, and I'm thinking, how many other people are feeling like that when life stressors just catch up to you? So feeling like you're just going to fall asleep at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and not being able to control it. Your eyes are like, oh, I can't stay awake. And you're trying to talk to a customer or a patient or a doctor, and you find yourself, your head on
wanting to take a nap.
Right, but it can affect your blood pressure. It can affect, your mental state. It's not good. It's almost like chemical warfare when your hormones are, out of alignment.
I know you mentioned being tired, but are there other signs that our body shows us that we're overwhelmed or anxious, or just, just need to pull back?
There's lots of signs when someone's starting to feel overwhelmed, and it's directly related to anxiety. So you have, you know, agitation, you're easily aggravated. Anything anybody says just like really irritates you. Depression, general unhappiness, loneliness, and isolation. A lot of people that feel overwhelmed, they don't want to leave the house, they don't want to go out. So when I'm calling somebody and like, hey, let's go out, and they're like, no, I'm too tired. Or, you know, like, hey, what's going on? They snip at you. Someone says something and then they take it the wrong way. Those are signs of somebody that's starting to get, you know, that almost, you know, that anxiety, that sense of overwhelming. So those are signs to look out for, you know, friends and loved ones, because you can look and be like, oh my gosh, are you feeling overwhelmed? And then when you ask them that question, you're like, yeah, and they don't want to talk about it because they feel like there's something wrong with them.
I know in the past you've mentioned CBD and how that can impact and help with anxiety, but let's go back and talk about what is CBD and how it plays a role in, you know, reducing anxiety.
CBD is a non-psychoactive chemical in the cannabis plant. So you have to remember, you have, you know, cannabis. There's only one cannabis plant. You have the sativa and the indica, and so it's known as, you know, marijuana. But there's really only, you know, it's called cannabis. I don't like the word marijuana. So you have hemp. It's still cannabis. So hemp is when the cannabis plant has the opportunity to grow, you know, and mature. So it's a nice, tall cannabis plant. And then the indica strain, is, you know, the one that has the high levels of THC, is the small, bushy cannabis plant. So I always tell people I'm a fan of the cannabis plant that's, you know, grown, you know, to its fullest. Yeah, 15 to 25 feet, you know, tall. They can get up to.
CBD is something that comes out of that plant?
Yep, CBD is called cannabidiol. So, you know, majority of the cannabis plant, when it's allowed to grow nice and tall, is cannabidiol, and it has full spectrum of all the cannabinoids, so THC being one of them, but it's got less than 0.3%. So it's not psychoactive anymore, and it doesn't show up, you know, in your laboratory work when you're doing a drug test. But all of the medicinal properties of CBD, 96% of the medicinal properties come from that CBD, and one of those medicinal, you know, benefits is helping with depression and anxiety and senses of, you know, being overwhelmed.
And in fact, you brought some products that different forms of that. Let's talk about some of these
manufacture, you know, different forms, even for different doctors, to sell them out of their offices. I do the honey sticks. Honey sticks, I infuse it with the local raw honey, so you're getting the medicinal properties of the honey as well. But putting the CBD in there, it's great for children with autism spectrum, and children get overwhelmed too with schoolwork. There's so much demand these days with schools. And then you have the rapid dissolving tablet. That's a patented, you know, my patented delivery mechanism dissolves right away underneath the tongue. So someone that's feeling overwhelmed, having a panic attack right there and then, they can grab one of those, and then their panic attack goes away within 15 to 20 seconds.
Wow.
That's huge. And you're actually feeding the brain exactly what it needs. One of my most popular sellers is the tincture. The tincture is a full spectrum of, you know, the cannabinoids. So it's got high CBD, but it's got low levels of THC, but still, you know, considered agricultural industrial hemp. And then I have capsules for people that have chronic symptoms of feeling overwhelmed. Some people just every day, their life is basically my executives. They just feel like so much. A lot of my attorneys, a lot of my doctors, they're working 18, 19 hours a day, and that's gonna, you know, play, you know, mental warfare. And then my favorite, and this is actually my vape, you light it up, you put, you put the tincture oil inside there, and then you vape it. And then you just let it out. So right away, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, you feel super calm. And now you're avoiding Xanax and Prozac and Wellbutrin and Trazodone and Valium and all of these neuropsych medications.
Well, I mean, sounds like a good alternative to some of those other medications. So, but you can get more information about this and a lot of the things that happen at Age Battle Pharmacy just by visiting their website or going to their location downtown in downtown Sarasota. And next, we're going to get in the spirit of Halloween with our pets. We'll be right back.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom. Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better. With amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today. A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
Looking for something fun to do on a Friday night? Then come to Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Enjoy free live music, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Meet up with friends, enjoy activities for the kids, or make it a special date night. And be sure to stop by the ABC7 booth and say hello. Mark your calendars for Music on Main, first Friday of the month, 6 to 9 at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by ABC7 and these sponsors. Tonight on ABC7 News at 7.
It's against the law to do it, and we enforce the law. We don't violate it, and it makes no sense for anybody to have a quota. The departments don't benefit from that kind of thing.
Ticket quotas are illegal. Then what's with an email from a senior state trooper requiring officers to write 2 tickets an hour? I'm Alan Cohn ordering you to pull over to the trapezoid.
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
It's October and it's time to get our ghosts and goblins ready. According to the National Retail Federation, pet owners will spend about $440 million on Halloween pet costumes, and the best ones won't even last. But our pet trendologist, Charlotte Reed, is here to get us ready for the celebration, and we're going to be celebrating Halloween with you. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween to you guys. Look at these little guys.
You know, it's October already, really, and you're already seeing these things in stores. Tell me what some of the most popular costumes are this year.
Well, according to the National Retail Federation, you've got your classic pumpkin, you've got your bee, you've got your pirate. So you can see them all on the screen. Pirate, and there's Ty as a pirate, and that was for Gasparilla a few years ago. You've got bee. You've got Batman characters, you've got Star Wars characters. I mean, it's just amazing. Lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. Perfect for Sarasota.
And, you know, where are the best places and times to find these costumes? Because is it too late now? Because I know, you know, it's still October and, you know, got a couple weeks, but, you know, is it too late to find that good one?
It actually is not, because this is really the week that people are thinking about Halloween now. We hit October 1st, and people are out there buying costumes, whether it's online, and you can obviously search a million stores at one time. Believe it or not, Michael's is a great place to find costumes.
Oh,
Obviously,
Pet,
your Petco and PetSmart, Petland, which is here based in Florida. And you've got so many retail outlets. I mean, Walmart, they're being picked over at Walmart. Every day I go to Walmart and there are less and less costumes. And the other superstores, Target's a great place to find costumes too. Better to go online at Target than to actually go to the store.
Okay.
So as you know, I have about a 300-piece costume.
We can go to your house.
You can go to my house and dress. Well, that's if you have 4 legs. You're more than welcome to come on and try all the costumes.
Well, you know, another thing is trend is people making costumes for their pets. Tell us about that.
Well, people are making costumes because they want to win. They want to win those Halloween costume contests, which is amazing. I have one friend, Anthony Rubio. He's a canine couture designer. He has won Washington Square Park, which is one of the best well-known contest in the country, as well as the great ones that go on in LA and Sarasota and this place and that place in Texas. I mean, Boston, Faneuil Market, there's so many great. So people want to really put a paradigm together, which includes music, a float, and a homemade costume, because it's really hard to win with a store-bought costume unless you're kind of doing a big paradigm.
Yeah. Okay, well, you brought some examples for us. Let's start off with what's on the end.
Okay, so first of all, everyone, this is my ode to Sarasota. So all of these are my favorite people and favorite places. So we're going to start with the police dog over there, and that is my gal pal, Chief DePino. I love her. She's my girl crush. She's got handcuffs. I couldn't bring a gun, and I couldn't wear, you know, usually when you see her, she's got her vest on. Yeah. We don't have one of these, but maybe next year. Okay. Who loves the flamingos at Jungle Garden? So this is a flamingo. Okay, we love that.
So cute.
Okay, so my audio producer at the radio station, his aunt owns the big cat habitat. So you see Hannah over there, she's dressed as a lion, and the headgear is really, really happening this year, especially the lion headgear. That's one of the most popular costumes, and it's easy, especially if you have a dog who doesn't like costumes.
Yeah. Okay. It's a commercial featuring that costume.
I know, it's totally amazing. Okay, so someone thought this was kind of a dinosaur. Actually, it's not. It is a cactus, and the cactus is an ode to Jennifer Romanicki and Selby Gardens, because the Ode to the Night comes out once a year, so that's why we have the cactus. Okay? So, who doesn't like a shark? Well, not the folks at Moat Marine. So they love sharks. It's a kind of the origin of their beginning. So we have this shark costume right here.
That's a good one.
Right? Cute. Now,
with the fin,
I don't know about
that.
you, but I love my fresh vegetables. You can hold some of them up. There's a mushroom and carrot. There's a strawberry representing the farmers market in Sarasota.
Love that.
That's adorable.
It's really, really cute. And also, we have our big festival, our strawberry festival here in Plant City, so that's always kind of fun. And last but not least, the Ode to the Circus. So I decided to treat you all to a strong man right here who's lifting the weights.
That's hysterical.
You cannot have a circus without a clown. So that's Ty.
Ty's like, leave me be.
And then Mara, who's sitting here.
Wake up, come on.
Everybody,
show off your costume.
Everybody loves the elephants.
Oh, look at that elephant.
And you know, the best part about all these costumes, I don't believe any one of these costumes costs more than $25.
Oh, wow, that's really good.
But you know, the best part is you can use them again and again on social media. So that's really why I have so many costumes, because we're always, whether it's Shark Week, where we have shark costumes for every single day, or if it's Elephant Awareness Day, or there's a festival for flamingos. I don't know if you guys saw the Miami Zoo, my friend, Ron down there, the ambassador for the Miami Zoo, when the hurricane hit, they took all of the flamingos and they put them in the bathroom. So guess what I did? I did my own video. I dressed the dogs up like flamingos, put some dust on the floor, and I photographed them in the bathroom.
That's great.
So, I mean, it's kind of fun. So costumes, they're not really just a one day of the year thing. They're all times of the year, whether you go to parades or Christmas festivals. You know, there's so many competitions throughout the year, so that's why it's always fun to have so many.
And they seem to like it. They don't seem to mind this.
No, they seem very comfortable, especially this one over here.
Yeah, he's ready. It looks like he's ready to go to sleep, you know. But I mean, that's really what's so fun about it. And also, really, everybody's into sharing. I mean, you know, if you look at the top influencers in the pet community and social media, they're not people. They're pets.
Right.
So you have,
they're the stars.
They're the stars. So that's really what it's all about.
All right, well, thank you, Charlotte. And of course, you have like tips and other things for pets and your radio show that you can watch on iHeart or listen to on iHeartRadio on Saturdays. It's called the Pet Buzz, right?
It's called the Pet Buzz. It's on 1320, 1450, and 103.9 FM.
I am inspired.
All right, well, thank you, Charlotte, for all of the tips.
Thank you.
And again, go to her radio station to actually listen to that. And next, we're going to get information on outdoor living space renovation. We'll be right back.
The ABC 7 First Alert Hurricane Guide. Download yours today.
Until recently, getting older meant losing your energy, memory, sex drive, even gaining weight, but it doesn't have to.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jenny Wilkins, owner of Age Vital Pharmacy Research and Wellness. Reversing or slowing the effects of aging can be as simple as supplementing vitamins, minerals, and hormones that your body needs in order to look and feel young again. At Age Vital, we do this without taking harmful prescription drugs that often have a longer list of side effects than benefits. Growing older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Age well, Age Vital.
Police explain the role a second person played in the death of a 22-year-old man. Plus, the state of Florida offers more help for Hurricane Maria victims, what Governor Scott is doing to help families leaving the devastated Puerto Rico. Now let's get a check on your First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are looking at the tropics once again this week for the potential for something to develop there. We'll talk more about that coming up at 5 and what it means for our Overall weather, we didn't get much rainfall over the weekend as most of it fell to the north and east of our particular area. It's set up near Jacksonville, but here's a look at what's going on now. The rain mainly down to the south of us right now, although we have a few showers into DeSoto County. Most of that rain well down to our south. We'll have more in your forecast coming up at 5. See you later.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. They send out devastating letters, garnish paychecks, and even put liens on your home or business. You may have heard of it. It's called enforced compliance. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms and can negotiate a tax settlement with the IRS. It's that simple. And if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars, finally ending your financial stress. Now is the time for a fresh start. Now is the time to call Tax 10,000. 800-699-3188. That's 800-699-3188. Call now.
The Florida lifestyle is all about being outdoors, and one of the newest trends in home renovations here on the Suncoast is continuing our indoor style into our outdoor living spaces. Kate Spencer from Tile Outlets of America is here to talk about options in outdoor tiles. Great to see you.
You too.
Are there certain specific types of tile that we need to be using outdoors versus others?
Yeah, we recommend a porcelain tile for outdoor just because of water absorption.
Oh.
You know, and usually it's meant for a freeze, and I know we're in Florida and we don't really have a freeze, but in general, porcelain tiles are what we would recommend for you to use for an or stone for an outdoor space.
So if we did have cold weather, though, would it be any problem?
Oh, it would. You would have to use porcelain tiles.
Okay,
In a cold weather environment,
safe...
porcelain tiles is the way to go for outdoors.
Okay, well, let's talk about styles. I'm a huge fan of the one in front of you. This is a plank style. Tell us about that.
Yes, you know, planks have been so evolved, and now they're making them where you can put them outdoor. They actually allow them to have a little bit of texture to them, so they don't look like they're too rough, but they actually have a lot of style and characteristic to them.
It looks like a wood barn outside.
Yeah,
That's
so
so
wood barn
cool.
outside. Yeah.
Oh, I love that idea.
Yeah, with nails in it. One has like nail holes right in the end, so you can see these little, you know, characteristics of each one of them.
And the staggering design here, it looks like it's beautiful. It brings, you know, I always say I love to be up north. It brings that northern feeling.
That warmth, you know, that you see outside, and it's just really, and
neat.
all the variations and colors, it gives it a lot of character.
Oh, I love all of these
so it's
ideas.
not boring.
No, not boring at all.
The old Florida lanai of yesteryear is gone.
Yeah.
No more palm trees and wicker. It's now.
But it's easy to clean.
Easy to clean. Again, it's just another mop with, you know, hot water and mop it, hose it outdoors. You're talking about hosing it off.
Oh, I love that.
Okay,
hose it off.
And you mentioned the importance of porcelain. So tell us the characteristics of having porcelain tile.
Well, it's very durable. So you're going to have that durability that's going to have a, you know, long-lasting, you know, effect for you. It's something that you're going to keep for a really long time. So that's what you want to make sure that you install for an outdoor environment, for you to be walking on and making sure, you know, obviously no one slips, no one gets hurt. So there's a lot of, you know, value to that.
So that's the practicality, but the choices are huge.
Right. So you can have the porcelains that look like many different types.
That looks like stone.
That looks like stone, and that is a porcelain tile to look like stone. So you have the porcelain tile with no maintenance, but have a stone look that gives you the characteristics of an actual stone. So, you know, you can have a little bit of everything. So if you wanted stone, you can have stone. If you wanted that porcelain look like stone with no maintenance, you can have
okay, I understand it now.
Speaking of stone.
And that is a stone tile there.
That is a stone patio tile.
Now, what's the difference between maintenance-wise between the porcelain and the stone?
Maintenance-wise, you know, stone is it's made out of the earth. like everything,
Right.
but that is, you know, so you still have maintenance on that.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to want to make sure it's cleaned properly, no chemicals involved in it, and you're going to want to make sure, you know, maintain it. It wears out, it wears down. You know, think about, you know, walking in Europe or something on stone, you know, walkways and you know, they will wear down, and that's what's unique about stone. You want that characteristic.
Now we hear about grip and no grip. Explain what that means.
So grip and no grip. So it is really neat right now. This technology these days, they've now allowed you to make a tile for your indoor use with a nice finish on it, and the exact same tile with a grip finish that you can take right outside.
And grip meaning it'll help not slip?
It has a texture to it, so it's not that you're going to skin your knees on it, but it will give you a nice texture that you can have that same look. If you want to carry that look from your inside of your house all the way outside with the same exact
And
look.
so important with the pool when it's, I mean, you've been in people's
feet.
homes before where their tile was just dangerous. So this
and
is
so
great.
much the doors slide open,
And
so
this-
it goes straight through.
Especially in Florida.
And it feels different. It feels different to walk on.
Right, you want to feel like you're outside. We mentioned the pool. Tell us about our pool options.
Well, pool options are awesome. I brought some waterline features with us today because I think, you know, the colors that are so vibrant, and you know, we're in Florida, there's a lot of pools, and so we offer a lot of lines for people to come in and pick out that mosaic that you're looking for to make your pool really, really special.
So not just tile for flooring, tiles that we can actually put in the water on our water line.
On your water line.
Gorgeous.
You can
All right.
do your deck in a nice paver, you can put your water line in glass, and you know, you finish off
I
your
love
look.
that one around the hot tub and then here.
Yeah, me too. Now, if there's one thing we've learned, certainly from you, Kate, is that the amount of variety in tile, I had no idea until you introduced us to all these different things.
And I think, you know, variety is essential because everyone has a different style and everyone has a different look. You know, you always have, you know, that terracotta look people like, you have that stone look that people like. A plank now are more popular for outdoors. We want to make sure that everyone has that look you're looking for. So there's not a perfect look. It's really what you desire and what you want to see. You know, so there's some great looks.
There are an endless amount of options for your outdoor designs, and if you feel overwhelmed, we have that solution too, because I know I do. Tile Outlets has a design team that will help with all of your home remodeling projects, so you can visit them, get some help, get some ideas, and then get it all installed. Their Sarasota store is located on Cattleman Road, or of course you can find them online at tileoutlets.com. We'll be right back.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
I found an update about our guide dog puppy Wrigley. Watch him walking in harness, and look, he is stopping at the curb. His trainer taps the foot because that's what you would do when you were guiding. You would stop at the curb so that the person could understand there's a step down. Then he's learned to proceed across the street, and look, he stops at the curb on the other side because the person would then need to know that there is a step up. I was like the most excited foster mom in the world when I saw this.
How did they teach him that?
Isn't that wonderful?
Wrigley.
That's so smart.
He's learning. He's learning. So we do love the fact that we are able to get updates from Southeastern Guide Dogs about Wrigley's progress and all the great things that are going on there. So we'll always share them with you. And I appreciate everybody that asks about him everywhere we go.
I'm so proud. You took him to the bathroom 20 times a day.
That's right. He learned how to do all those things. All right, coming up next, we're going to learn about paella with Carmel Kitchen.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert Weather app now.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Taking advantage of it, why some are not using hospice care. In First Alert traffic right now, no crashes to report in the area, but traffic is backed up a little bit on US 301 in the southbound lanes right near Fruitville Road. Now back to Bob for more on our weather.
Thanks, Scott. This afternoon, most of the activity now down to our south, pushing off to the west. Kind of a windy day today. All that wind out of the northeast associated with a high pressure ridge building in and a low pressure down to our south. We're kind of trapped in between. So this pressure gradient will stay rather tight and will stay kind of windy over the upcoming days. Small craft advisories are in effect for coastal waters. A few showers inland right now. That rain chance expected to go up later this week. We'll talk more about that as a possible tropical system moves in from the Caribbean. All that coming up at 5.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local boys and girls clubs. Great futures start here.
Welcome back. We're here with Chef Alex from Carmel Kitchen. Chef, what are we making today?
Today we're going to be making our menu favorite paella.
Oh, yes, this is exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited to teach you.
Let's get started. This is a first for me.
All right, so we're going to get you all involved, which I'm excited about, so don't be nervous, all right? So we got a hot pan already, so we're going to add it here. And Will, I'm going to have you have it a little olive oil to the pan, not too much, not the whole thing.
Not the whole thing, just
perfect right there. All right, so as you can see, the olive oil is nice and hot, so now we're going to add the chicken, so go ahead with the spoon and spread it around.
All right, we'll do a little bit of this.
That's all you want to hear right there.
Great sound.
And that's for a few minutes or seconds, right? It's not long.
What we're going to try to do is you have a number of proteins going in. You have scallops, shrimp, and chicken, so we want it to all cook at the same rate. Chicken takes longer, so that's why it's in first.
Start off with that.
Yep.
All right, well, speaking of the scallops, what is Linda doing over there?
Linda, you're going to just season with a little salt and pepper on the scallops and the shrimp.
One time?
Yeah, just give it a half crack.
One.
If you're at home and you love salt and pepper, give it a little more. It's okay.
One. Okay, I've got it.
All right. Okay,
Job done.
Now, we're going to toss these a little. And we're going to add the shrimp to the pan. I'll take that.
There you go.
So a very hot pan. Yeah.
Very hot pan,
Yeah.
Move that a little. All right, now you want to get in there?
All right, right over here?
Yep.
All right, there we go.
All right, now I'm going to add the chorizo in. I like to add it at this time because it kind of renders the fat down a little, and all the juices cook together. Everything cooks together. It's kind of a melting pot of flavors, which is wonderful. It's what you want.
Yeah,
are there always certain proteins that are used in paella, or is it variable?
There's a number of different things. I mean, originally paella is from the west coast of Spain, so they use snails and different stuff, but this is our version of paella. Yeah, this is kind of an Americanized version of paella, but it's still a melting pot of flavors, and it's going to be really great.
All right,
so,
and you let that cook for a few minutes.
Yep, and then our garnish is going to be a candied lemon over here.
Okay.
So, go ahead and put that butter in the pan. I'll
maybe.
knock it out for you.
Add a little bit. There we go.
And then we're just going to take the lemon, turn it upside down, and put it in some regular granulated sugar.
Okay.
And just throw that right in that butter right there.
And is that to add a certain flavor once you squeeze it?
It's for a garnish. We put it on the side because it's a perfect flavor. It's a little sweet at the top, and then a little, it's bitter on, through the whole thing. So as you add it, it's a very robust dish. It's going to really lighten it up, and if you love lemon, you can add more. If you don't like lemon, you don't have to add any.
Oh, wow.
So I'm counting on you to keep an eye on that.
All right, and then what do I do once,
I'm just going to pull it out, and I got a little resting spot for you. So
you'll keep it on, it's just don't know what to do with it.
You'll see a little smoke here, and then you want to just pull it off. So.
Okay.
All right. And all right, now back to our paella.
All right.
We got everything cooking.
Very talented.
All right, so we're going to throw the mussels in.
Okay.
When the mussels get done, we're going to pull them out. Mussels are, I'd say, they're kind of like people. They're a little stubborn, some of them. Some open up right away.
All right.
So
those are in there.
They're done. When they open up, they're done, right?
Yep. All right, now we're going to add a little chicken stock to our dish.
Okay.
Glaze with that. And then we're going to add our rice in. This is our Sofrito rice we make from scratch. Sofrito is a Spanish sauce. It's got green peppers, red peppers, onions, and Spanish paprika. Spanish paprika is a smoked paprika, so it's a little bit different.
And the rice is already cooked?
It's already cooked, yeah. We don't have the time to cook it here, but I mean, if you want to cook it at home and do it, rice is kind of an intimidating thing, so it's I think it's better to cook it beforehand for something like
you
this.
got it done.
All right. Fresh peas and fresh roasted peppers.
Excellent.
So basically, at this point, you're just cooking the protein and then adding the different layers?
Yeah, adding the different layers. We cook everything, the rice and everything, beforehand at the restaurant. Because, I mean, if you're sitting down at a restaurant, you don't want to wait 20, 30 minutes.
Exactly, for your rice.
Right. So and that is just a little bit more on that. We're going to pull it away from the heat.
All right, well, while we let the lemon go ahead and caramelize a little bit, tell us about your Wine Wednesdays.
Wine Wednesdays
we like the
is a
sound of
wonderful
this.
thing. Yeah, it's half-price wine all day.
Oh,
So you can come in whenever you want, half-price off bottles of wine, which is fantastic. bring your friends. I mean, over here, I don't know if you can see it, we have a meze platter. Order one of those. You can sit there for an hour or two and just chat.
Right.
Yeah, it's a wonderful restaurant.
All right, well, that sounds good. And we are making paella today, lots of different proteins. So Beth is burning some fingers on the on the lemon caramelization.
All right, so that looks nice.
All right, do we get to plate it up?
Yeah, let's go ahead and plate it up.
All right, and look, you did get your muscles to cooperate and open.
Oh, are they open?
See, I told you there'd be one stubborn one of the bunch.
Well, that happened.
Right here and plate.
All right, this is Chef Alex showing us paella from Carmel Kitchen. Lots of great things on the menu there, and always Wine Wednesdays to look forward to if you need a break for the middle of the week. So it looks like he's pulling out the mussels and getting ready to put it all together.
Yep, we're gonna pull out the mussels.
Looks wonderful.
Oh. And then the shrimp are going to go on top. Will, I'm going to have you help me out with this kitchen.
All right, we're going to put Will to work as we wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Will, great to have you. Thanks for coming in and doing the heavy lifting in the kitchen.
Right over here.
We look forward to digging in. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day.
Shrimp
Take
right
some
here.
time and enjoy the Suncoast view.
Thanks, everybody.